whispers echo under moonlit skies. Gem and day and bring truth, no disguise. Through the static, their voices rise. Odd squad, sharp with eagle eyes. Late night trip, we ride the wave. Raindrops fall on city pavement, washing secrets in the dark. Daily drip, the crowd's amazement. Knowledge streaming comes to spark. Thunder in the nighttime sky.
Get them ready. What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? As you can see, this is DJ Cash's Pay. And I'm around here with Jim Jones on the solo late night drip. That's why we had to change it up with the, usually it's a sausage fest in here. We ain't doing all that.
Hey y'all, it's me, Jim Jones, here in the flesh, doing that solo drip by myself. So if you were here to see plain name, psych, it's just me. And Cassius Pay is over here, doing his thing as the producer. So much love and respect there. Hi y'all. So as you know, I have my own segment of Talk Techie to Me. If you have not checked it out, it is a playlist that we have for our show. Check that out. And you can see all the different tech things that I talk about. But today we're going to try to make some connections of things going on. Well, before I get into all that, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you share. And then let's make sure we get the comments popping. Make sure y'all drop some drip in the comments. Be kind to one another. Please do that. We are, a space in the Talk Techie to make sure that we clarify things. We don't have to be mean to each other, but try to, be respectful. And
what's up with all this soft talk you trying to do? I know it's late night drip, but I mean, don't try to hold up my second amendment right. Hold on, my first amendment right.
Yeah, I'm like Second Amendment. Who pew pewing in here?
My First Amendment right.
Okay. So not trying to take that away from anybody, but just, hey, we're here to learn, grow. And then also, if you have any experiences, drop some drip in the comments. And I'd love to go ahead and bring it up and shout you out and talk a little bit more about it, because I don't know everything about everything. And that is the beauty of technology.
And community.
All right. Yeah, and community too. All right. So Cassius Pay, is there anything you wanted to add before I get into this?
I just want to say that it's a good Friday, wonderful day to be alive. Rest in power to D'Angelo.
Man.
And oh goodness, somebody else passed away. Yeah, somebody else. I can't remember right now. Actress, I believe.
So lady. There's been tons of movies. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll think about it. I'll remember. Drop some drip in the comments if you know who we're talking about. Her name is on the tip of my tongue, but she's been all over, been in a ton of movies. So yes, please, RIP to those who are not with us at this point in time. So, shout out
Diane Keaton.
There you go, Diane Keaton, been in a ton of movies. You don't know who Diane Keaton is? Real young to be in here. All right, so appreciate y'all very much. We're gonna lighten this up a little bit. Just a little bit, because it's kind of sad, but you'll see where I'm going with this. So, as you know, our daily drip show is content. So we are content creators, and so this hits near and dear home for a couple reasons. One, content creator, but two, I was an athlete, so I definitely really, really resonate with this. Y'all hear about Gil's Arena? Tell me y'all heard about Gil's Arena. They are on YouTube. They are a big show that actually their premise was to take over, what was that, First Take, where it was Stephen A. and, all that going on. And then they were basically trying to make the same space in YouTube. Well,
they made the space. It wasn't that they wasn't trying. They was doing. they was doing.
And they were live streaming, which was it's very rare to me that you get content from like an athlete in real time, because usually, they got PR people, and granted, he's retired, right? He's a retired athlete, but the people on the show, like, there's backlash to messing up anything live. So I was always very surprised that he actually hopped on live and was doing this live, and he seems pretty transparent, which is like his persona on the court kind of matches his persona on Gil's Arena, which I'm very surprised at. So yeah, but let's talk about this deal. So Gil and the squad just secured the bag, but let's talk about whose bag is it? Whose bag is it? What do I mean by that? So they ended up signing a multi-million dollar deal with Underdog. Underdog, if you don't know who that is essentially like their sponsor, because like I said, they were trying to take over First Take by the end of this year. So if you're watching me right now, meaning that you too value content creation, as well, and it is in competition with regular TV. Like, we have to be honest here that, creators are kind of becoming networks, and it's no longer just talent, but it depends on your platform, right? But let's talk about that deal. Let's talk about who's really cashing out when the creators go corporate. So Underdog, they put up money to sponsor Gil's Arena, right? And I don't know if we have that video ready, but they sponsored Gil's Arena. And so when they started pouring, 50%, what I'm saying? We talking about big boy money, right? Multi-million dollar deal. Like, hey, we putting this money up for you. Now they have buy-in to what you create. It's no longer a Gil's Arena. Like, Gil is
our arena.
whatever. It's our is Gil's Arena, but our arena, for real. And so the master investor is going to talk about how content creation has kind of changed and his thoughts on that. And then I'll come back and do a little bit more on the deep dive of what's going on behind the scenes with it. Shout out to the master investor.
So Gilbert Arenas, he announced on his podcast that Underdog Fantasy owns 50% of his show, and that they could potentially lead to downsizing, maybe less episodes, less staff, if the revenue doesn't make sense. Is the podcast game falling apart?
I've been screaming this for 3 or 4 years. To me, it is a indicator of how well someone is or is not doing based on how quickly they are willing to get into arguments with others. Our podcast in trouble? Yes. I think the formation of them. I like Gil a lot. Gil's Arena actually is one of my favorite shows. But the difference that we have to stress is that every good deal and good partnership that looks good may not be good for you long term. What good is a partnership if they removed his name off of Gil's Arena? Like, Gil is straight, Gil's money. Gil probably made $400 million in his lifetime in the NBA. So he's fine. But I do think some of these podcasts and streaming deals can be predatory. Independence is important. Being a good business person is your own. And the one thing I want to stress, like, people a lot of times go for bigger viewership. The number that really matters is percentage of equity and non-dilutable shares. It's a lot of y'all who getting 2 million views and can't scrounge up 20,000 for an emergency. Don't walk into the predatory deal is my advice. Continue to build craft that people are going to need from you. But I think it's a travesty what is being done with that deal structure and the timing of it after the gambling. The irony even in that. He get arrested for underground gambling, and here come Underdog.
We're going to touch on that right there. Y'all don't know, Gil got arrested for gambling. Now let's go ahead and sorry, I've been over here sneezing. Everything was great. I believe the deal started in February of this year. So earlier this year, they said, you know what, you got staff, you got people, y'all doing great. We're gonna give y'all this money, right? Because the platform, from technology perspective, let's pause for a second. Back in the day, the only way you were getting content, aka information, aka people you like to listen to, you're gonna go to that cable. You're gonna go to the news, the local channels. Now, some of y'all remember when you only could go to TV and turn it. Y'all was doing that clickety clack with turning and only got a couple stations, which was the closest local stations that you had. So the closest metropolitan area to you, you typically got those stations, similar with radio. So dating some of that. Technology has put to the forefront, and like now you can quickly choose what you want. And so let's talk about predatory lending. Checks get bigger, right? Hey, you got multi-million-dollar deal. You got the lights. Like Gil already had the setup. He had the spot set up. He had the cameras. He had, drinks and chicks bringing stuff out already. He was already doing a good chunk of that stuff. But then that multi-million-dollar deal came up, right? So checks get bigger. The fine print, though, gets smaller, which we can say is close to predatory lending. I'm going to have to agree with him. I'm going to have to agree with him. There is something to be said where now, back in the day when you were turning that knob or you had to buy cable, right? The vetting was different. They, as in whatever powers that be, picked who was going to be on air. With the internet, with technology, you can get a Kai Cenat, right? Like where he's coming on and he's able to just stream and just do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. Mr. Beast, another content creator where, they can pop on and do what they want to do. And these investors are like, and they lay on up and up. So my question, drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all consider this a trap? Do y'all
I'm
think
gonna
this is
jump in
trap
there
level?
with you, like, cause you can until you can't, cause there are other content creators like the Pop the Balloon, for example, right, where they had that Netflix deal, much like not
That's
like
similar.
Mr. Beast, but you get other entities that want to come in and change pieces
How
and parts of
Mhm.
how it
You
would work,
operate. Yeah. What made
right?
your sauce that sauce? That mac sauce. What's really in that mac sauce? I don't know if we like what's in that mac sauce. Can you change that a little bit? Well, then that would make it mac sauce. Well, it's just not healthy enough. We
Put
want
some
to,
horseradish in it.
yeah, like what? Hold on, wait a minute. It's my grandma. No, it's our recipe, baby. Baby. You gotta just put your name on it. But it's no longer really mac sauce. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's
I see what
it's
you're going.
more about it's Gil's light instead of the actual arena itself, which made it what it is. And then you start putting other figures on there, and now when people go to the show, they're expecting to see the people that they saw before, and it's a totally different vibe, a totally different set of characters, and then you see some people that you wouldn't expect to see on a regular basis on this damn show. You're like, is this Skip
I
Bayless or
haven't
what the
watched
hell? I
Gil's
don't.
Arena in a minute though. Like I really used to really watch it heavy. Is McCann still on there?
Right now, it's the arena and it's football season, so they talking about football right now,
But
which
he
is
like
really
football, so
weird.
he ain't on there now. Like I'm
I
still
didn't see I
confused.
didn't see him on haven't seen him
Man,
on the
he
show in a
look
minute.
and
It's Skip
just
and
like
a couple other people on the show. I'm just like,
oh.
well, damn, Skip, why you on there every day,
Well,
Skip?
we'll get to that. Well, the word on the street is it's supposed to be a Gil and
Skip's
Skip
arena.
show. Gil and Skip show is supposed to pop off. But tapping on two things that Master Investor talked about. One being
I hear us trying to be like a half of an Oreo cookie on these shows. He want his side against a black side, and then like it's just really weird to me.
drop some drip in the comments. Y'all believe that? Now we trying to put me in that. I ain't
No,
got
I
nothing to
remember
do
they
with
was
that.
trying to float that he was going to be on where they were doing testing with him was
Yeah,
him
no,
on one side
that's
and
the
Lil Wayne on the other side. I'm like, Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Okay, drop some drip in the comments. Who would y'all like to see Skip Bayless work with?
I would like to see him work with retirement. That's all I'm saying.
Drop some drip in the comments. Let us know if you don't mess with the first takes, the Gills Arena and stuff like that. Also, let us know if you see something different in like a different platform. Maybe I'm not shouting it out. It really doesn't matter whether it's sports or something else. It's kind of the same. I want to tap on the independent part. Master Investor said there's a very strong component of being independent. He's right, right? Like as soon as that them checks got signed, so did the creativity buzz and like the things that y'all liked. the most, right? Another thing he pointed out was arguments. Now, which the reason why I brought up McCants, shout out to McCants. I don't know if he even agreed with all the stuff that he was talking about, but he did what he was supposed to do. He came in and he gave a different perspective that made people be like, I don't like that. I want to sit here and argue with you, and that's something that drives people to not like him, but also, get more conversation. He's willing to say something that people aren't going to say. And if they took him up off that show, which is sounds like that also is taken away from the secret sauce. And so
Yeah, he was a well played villain. I mean, he played the role that he was
he
supposed to play.
did.
So
Yeah, he did. And so it's interesting because it's almost like the AI wrote the fine print, right? It sounds smart, but that math ain't mathing because at the end of the day, Gil is losing his name and likeness through this. And I'm also like, shout out to Gil. Like, I don't know you. Obviously, I don't know you, but even if it's called Gil's Arena, right? That's his name and likeness. He sold his name and likeness essentially to whatever it ends up being. And if it ends up being where it's him and Skip or whatever, he ain't gonna get to keep it as Gil's Arena. It's gonna shift into whatever and that dies. So going from independent, my brand, me, right? And I put a number on that. The people who offer that to him, before I get into the next thing, people who offer that to him, it's bigger than just that. Like all of these things with content creators where they're growing us, right? Or they're willing to put that kind of thing in there. It's a prototype. And there's a means to an end for some of that. And to me, for Gil, and there's some financial troubles and stuff like that y'all go look that up. I'll drop some links in the description so y'all can see more from him because he's going to speak about it himself. He don't need me to talk about what the financial situation is, but the financial situation was not as good. And because of that, now they're cutting back on staff, right? They're cutting back on all these things that were promised. And once again, you can't cut back on my name and likeness. Because he will always be Gilbert Arenas. He unless he changes his name, but then that doesn't help because that's his legacy and so forth. He's a basketball player, but like he sold all that. So I just want y'all to keep in mind as you make decisions like that. That's kind of potential impact in all of this from a tech perspective. All of this is being prototyped, right? They take into account of what worked, what didn't work, how people react to it, what the numbers are, when, what, how, all that is making a use case or an example. When people say use case, it ain't nothing but an example, case study, however y'all want to use it, it's similar. It's an example of this happened here. This was what we did or what happened. This is what happened after that. What can be done in the future to make that better? That's all that really means. So
can I bring in a business component?
I was gonna say, go ahead. I was gonna go to the next thing after this, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So what I would like to say about it is just know what you're getting into or what you're doing it for. So if you are generating a business and whatever the product is, so if the product is, shoot, you could be a rapper and want to do music. In this case, we're talking about podcasts. You can talk about a car that you love to death. And all of those things, you have to quantify them as just stuff at the end of the day if you're not going to put your heart into it, because usually businesses are made to be sold at some capacity, at some level. You used to have, I was going to bring up Jeff Bezos, but it doesn't matter. So whatever company that you get and you want to grow it, you have to bring in investors. Sometimes they take smaller chunks. Sometimes they take bigger chunks. Sometimes, if you've seen Shark Tank, they take the whole damn thing and they basically lease you as an executive to run the business. So you're essentially an employee.
And that's why they do the percentages. I'm sure y'all got it. If you don't know, that's why they're like, I'll give you 70%. I want 70% of the business to give you 300,000. That means that like I said that I gave you 70% of like basically the majority to say what happens at my business for 300 grand.
Right. So what this is getting at
You really
is
need that 300,000 that bad?
how much are you worth, or are you just ready to sell it and get out? Those are the things that you have to understand. If you had a car that you loved and you took care of it, but it's still a damn Saturn coupe, 98 or whatever, it might be clean as hell, but somebody gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, $600. $600?
Good Lord.
I've taken care of this car for 20 years.
$600. Good Lord.
Hey, look at the inside. It's never been, pissed in or anything.
This
That's 650. That's what I got.
cares?
'Cause
It's,
I
you
need
know,
to
like-
trade this in. I'm gonna trade it in. They're gonna take it to the junkyard. This thing about to be
it's
out of
30
here.
years
anyway.
old.
Right.
So, ain't
So
no new car.
right. You love it like a new
I
car.
can't even get the parts for this bad boy no more. And then we gonna talk about
Right.
tariffs. You know how much it's gonna cost me to get.
So
Let me
what
see.
I'm saying is that the show that you love or the artist that you cared about when they were indie bands, and then they come in and then it's commercialization. It comes in, try to rinse, repeat, see what sells
the
to a
Black
broader
Keys.
audience. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they're
Like
from
the Black
Akron, right?
Keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Black Keys. You know, there's a rock band that we talked about, Radiohead. Like, Andre 3000, there's just songs that they have to play. We'll just bring it down to a song level where I gotta play this same song over, and I might hate this song, but I got to because it's a hit. And the company's gonna be like, you gonna sing that song.
Hey, yeah, for the millionth time up. Go ahead, get it. Hey.
So yeah, so just keep that in mind, y'all, because I do want to get into the next topic, which is about AI generation. Everybody's talking about AI. We've talked about AI on this platform before. If you haven't gotten a chance, go check out some of the other videos that I've done around AI. But artificial intelligence is morphing. And we all know this, like a lot of y'all have used chatbots when you go in and you talk to, hey, I want to get help. And they say, how can I help you? And it's not really a person. And it's like got these canned answers. That's artificial intelligence. Also, just how they make inferences. So as they collect information, just like what I just said, there was a presentation. They got that new. I'm sure you've seen some of these commercials where they're like, oh, here's your baby. This is your baby. This is your baby when they get age. Look at this, beautiful.
Yeah, you just scanned your whole face about 20 different times.
You didn't scan the baby face. Okay. And what's happening is companies are using AI to replicate different concepts. Now, I want you to keep this in mind as you watch this video. And I gotta share this video. I forgot it's me. As you watch this video, I want you to. Oh, where's that? I want you to think about how this could be positive or negative. Okay. It's on LinkedIn. I'll drop the link in the description. Cash Pay, can you see it?
I will in a couple seconds.
Okay.
I'm looking at you.
You're looking at me?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. Let me turn that volume on. All right, yeah. And
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me. Just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know, for you, these pictures are just memories. But for others, they are data.
so keep this in
And
mind,
for me,
y'all, as we're talking
maybe
about
the beginning
future.
of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I
Pause
can go
and
to
talk about it.
things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad.
Okay. So before we go any further, that was deep, right? Drop some drip in the comments. This is going into, I'm gonna bridge a gap of the digital footprint, which, let's historically talk about, back and we've talked about this too, about AOL. When AOL was dying, AOL was a way that you connected with people socially, right? And you were able to share information about yourself, but that required you to text share. Then it turned into video, and it turned into picture shares and then video shares. And back in the day, MySpace, I was learning how to code, which is crazy, like HTML, making a little page work. And then it evolved into, you got the Facebooks, and then you got the Instagrams and the TikToks and the Snapchats and all these different things that make it faster, right? And as this grows, we're feeding your actual images and videos into a database with your voice, your face, your movements, your thoughts. And so as that's being collected, that's able to they're able to take some of this information, put it essentially in a space, and be used here. What this is doing though is, let's say you're taking images and videos of your baby, it's making assumptions based on a few things, whether it be you, the baby, whatever their rules are. They're going to take that and make a projection and a forecast of what this girl would be like. So that's what this is. Bridging that gap before we finish this, I want you to think about, if they can do this for a baby, don't you think they can make a Gil's Arena without Gil? It would save a lot of money. So just keep that in mind as we continue this.
Well, just know that
My voice got me to scan.
uploading your information to these databases essentially is usually consent. So when you upload your personal information, when you upload your face, that kind of thing is not meant to scare you. It's just what the actual truth is that you are basically consenting to downloading your kid's face in the database, downloading your grandma's face. She didn't ask for that, but now you done uploaded her of her 80-year-old ass. Now she over here like, how the hell I get over? Why am I on a mattress looking backwards at somebody? What's going on? And what in the 3D AI corn is this? All that going on. So just be cognizant. That's all.
And you can turn some of these off in the settings and so forth. Y'all go on YouTube. There's plenty of people on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok that'll show you how to turn off, whether it's your phone, LinkedIn, whatever, anybody with artificial intelligence. You can turn some of those settings off if you want to. Just go look those up. I don't have a walkthrough, but if y'all are interested in me doing a walkthrough of some of that, please drop some drip in the comments and let me know. I'd be happy to do that. But let's go ahead and continue this video.
I'm you, Mom.
Mom, I'm in trouble. I need you to send me money, please.
I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
All right. So shout out to Stephanie Hills, PhD, for posting that. But yeah, drop some drip in the comments. What y'all think about that? Do y'all ever think about the digital footprint? Do you think that this needs to be more regulation around it? Drop some drip, let us know. But I want to bridge that gap because if you think about it, Gil has essentially not only done like his name and likeness, as well as a lot of us content creators, right? There's our last live stream, I had a video about Sora 2 and how this guy was like having a full-on battle with Pikachu. It was crazy. And he volunteered his face for other people to use his face to create other videos. And so I want you to imagine AI spinning up a Gil's Arena clone with AI hosts trained on the voices, hot takes, Doesn't that sound crazy? You watching Gil's Arena, but you're not watching Gil's Arena?
That's kind of like how it feels right now.
Well, yeah, but it's still actually Gil. But
It's
it's
not Gil. He's not on the show where every time I watch it, they talk
he's
about
supposed to what he's supposed to be on it this well, he got in trouble. Well, also, like
he
Gil
ain't
got in
getting
trouble for gambling and stuff. So they had to put him on that you got to put somebody on ice when they
But,
do that. I
okay,
don't know how
well,
that is.
so it's alleged. So let's talk about being fair and
Sorry, alleged.
impartial.
Sorry,
Thank
alleged, but I'm saying because of the allegations, it had to put him on ice because of the allegation. Anytime, even if you're not, and y'all know this, even if somebody's not even convicted or convicted yet, or any of those things, they end up putting somebody on ice. We talked about this with Shannon Sharp, right? We talked about this with other folks. That's what happened. So yes, Gil was not going to be on there because they had to pause it. He's supposed to be on there, I think, this week. So check it out if you do.
well, basketball coming back, so we see who all on there.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, that's crazy. So my question to you with these hypotheticals, if the bag comes with a digital twin, is that really your bag? Let me know. It's crazy because back in the day we used to worry about people stealing our ideas. Now, now you gotta worry about them stealing you. That's crazy to me. So finally, before I leave off of this, name and likeness, digital footprint, brand. Let's tie that in really quick before we go to the next section. Your name and likeness, like Gil's Arena is Gil, right? Gilbert Arena is his name, as an example. When you upload your kid, you're uploading their name and likeness. You're uploading their face, yourself, your family, all those other aspects of it. And so I just want y'all to just once again, like I asked, just think about it. Think about some of these things before you do it. Just putting it out there so you have an idea. Cash is paid. Do you have anything else you want to add before I go
Yeah,
to?
nothing wrong with the tools. Just be informed and be well aware before you provide your currency, which it's currency is ever becoming more so social currency than any other form of currency. So people's attention is worth more than some work hours in some cases, as far as the level of productivity that we talk about when it comes to what companies value. So just the ability to reach people and to then use their content. So the algorithm is constantly looking for new faces, new places, new spaces. Oh, say, yeah, yeah. That is not what at least what I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I don't know if I could be a cyborg, but I mean, it sounds cool. It could have good applications like hospitals. Like if it was going to stop me
Oh
from
man.
having a bunch of
Oh,
like
Black Mirror type of stuff.
neurodegenerative type of things. Like if I was going to have a whole bunch of seizures, but then then all of a sudden, what's the trade off to something like that, right? Um, it's just I'm in a space where I'm just not comfortable with that and the level of morality that I believe that certain things can have for my well-being. Just call me a little tinfoily, we'll just say. That's it. I'm out.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing this up as the final part is right now we can all agree that it's very tough out there in the job market. And we can talk all we want about Gail, we get into the bag. We can talk all we want about his people, but they still get paid. Right. And we got to think about how can we leverage tech without losing our soul, essentially. And some of the things kind of going on in the job market, would love to talk a little more about that. So let me see if I can share this screen. Okay. I need it to be over here, actually. So, y'all heard of quiet quitting, quiet cracking? Have y'all ever heard of job hugging, rage applying? We got all kind of stuff going on
A
out here.
rage apply.
Rage
I don't felt that a
applying.
couple times. Like these motherfuckers, German got me hot. Let me start hitting apply. Only quick applies because I'm not spending a whole bunch of time filling out anything. It's gotta be already there. All right.
So with AI, hopefully this doesn't like do its thing. Okay, cool. So with AI, we're not going to get away from, some of the job replacements essentially. So you got a lot of people job hugging. Job hugging is, I don't care how much I hate this company, I'm here. Are you gonna hold on to that job? Quiet cracking is they're holding on to that job, but they don't love it there no more. And those are the people we talked about this before. Check out a previous video we had about quiet cracking. And then you got rage applying. So are these words hurting or helping the workplace by describing what's going on? And I'm going to wrap this back to AI in the end. So, according to this article, it's going to talk about, like I just said, oftentimes, you get these buzzwords that tell you, like this is what's going on with people that are currently working. Keep in mind, these analysis are trying to figure out where we as in the general population, how we feel, what we think, so they can then essentially use technology to combat that, to get us to do what they want us to do. They being could be employers, could be you know marketing, it could be whatever. Job hugging, it's clinging to your jobs, often from fear of layoffs or lack of hiring at other companies. So, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about this fear of layoffs. You ain't gonna do nothing about that. If they gonna lay you off, they gonna lay you off. So, I understand y'all doing that, but that ain't gonna do nothing. Lack of hiring at other companies. Once again, nothing that you can do about that. The best you could really do is enhance your skills, because it's not if, it's when. Make sure you get that together. But job hugging is apparently a thing. uh so they're saying job hugging kind of goes into quiet cracking, which it says it describes employees quietly working harder and longer without feeling reward or purpose. It fuels disengagement and poor performance. And then rage applying is the frustrated response of workers who feel ignored and flood the market with resumes, even if they don't really plan to leave.
They don't. They don't.
It
You're out
says
there
all
just
of
out there, Johnny Appleseed, just throwing stuff everywhere, just getting these calls. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got your application for what? What again? For, I don't even remember applying to that. It must have been when I was in one of my fits.
drop some drip in the comments. Y'all have a rage apply? Y'all quiet cracking over there? Y'all job hugging over there? Let us know. Drop some drip in the comments. So, according to this article, it's saying that all of these things are warning signs of cultures falling short of employee expectation. They had a survey that shows, half the employees believe their employers care about them, which is down 54%, which is crazy. So that means that previously, over half the people thought their employers cared about them. Now people are like, nah, we know they don't care. Nearly 1 in 5 believe the company doesn't care about their mental health at all, and 60% say their employer encouraged them to seek mental health support, which is down from 2024. So you can continue reading the rest of this article if y'all like. I'll make sure I drop this into the description so y'all can actually digest and see this yourself. I think it is. I like rage cracking. That's funny. I think that it's a pretty good reflection of the current market. You have a lot of people that, job market's rough. And even if they are at a job, they feel like they're stuck at the job, like they just said, because you're scared that you can't go somewhere else. So, what does that have to do with technology? Well, you have a lot of these layoffs from some companies, we won't name any names, that have outwardly said, It's about to get real thin around here because we got AI. We don't need y'all in here. We gonna automate your job." And so, when you do that, it's gonna put fear in a lot of people because they're like, "Dang, I ain't even gonna be able to work for real. This bot about to take my job." I'm just quiet working so I can rage retire on a boat. It's wild.
How about rage work so you can quietly retire? How about that? That way, I seen a whole lot of that at the job. It's you the older cats that they know a system. They the only ones left for some old antiquated code or something like that. Like, go ahead and get Charles. Charles, like, shut up, CIO. I know what the hell I'm doing. You shut up and watch me work. Actually, better yet, turn your back. You don't know what I'm doing anyway. Okay, Charles, we're sorry. We're sorry to mess with you. Charles is doing his thing. So he sit back, go get some coffee, probably go, mess with his grandkid for a minute. Hits one button, 1011. Yep, exactly. Yep.
Check out,
No
there's
ball.
a video that we have about being retired and getting paid triple. I have a story about this guy that I worked with in the past where he got paid the bag from a similar scenario. So, what does this all mean for us? If you are a creator or a consumer, let's try to use some of these AI tools without getting exploited as best we can, right? Um, Also, understand keys to get to ownership, right? So, for example, we know that AI is not going anywhere. We know that they're going to end up taking over, mundane tasks is what they claim it to be. If you are a content creator, we'll use Gil as an example. It would be really cool if when they come and say, "Oh, you know what? We could have an AI version of you, and then you could just edit it."
Well,
Would
they
be
did that
cool.
about 10 years ago with Tupac, right? The holograms, remember that was the thing?
I wasn't gonna go there because he didn't ask for that.
He didn't.
Um, it would be really cool if Gil was like, "Oh, great! I'm so glad you came here. I already got licensing on this, so sure, we can negotiate my name and likeness on this other tool that I have, or my face, or whatever it may be that I can use and give to you that you can use. But I own that." And so my take on this is that it's not going anywhere. And so you see the future. Showed you the video of the girl going and getting to be an adult. Try to take as much control as we can for yourself. Because I know that's what I'm gonna try to do as best as I can. And I'm hoping that y'all will do the same. And so I just wanted to come here with a real life scenario, creator, and also some of the things going on in the world. And if you are someone who is looking for a job, applying to different spaces, the AI, in theory, would talk to AI. So if you know how to use AI decently, in theory, you should be able to get more hits, more connections, and so forth. If you can leverage those tools, if you are interested in learning more about those tools, YouTube is a great resource for that. There are many other places that you can go and find resources as well to learn more about. We call it prompting, to ask AI questions to enhance whatever you're looking to do. But definitely, if you are someone in the job market and you want to enhance your tools and your skill sets, like, we can take control and use those to our advantage and not just be a victim. And so I just wanted to come to that of, some things to help out in this day and age. And that's all I have for everybody. Cash is paid. Do you have anything else?
No, just to button everything up. You did really good talking about the name and likeness. Let me see what Joe said real quick. Animate a photo of my
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
Yeah. Just y'all. If y'all gonna watch that, we gonna be respectful and not post that one up. We'll
If
let
you
that one be
you
where it is.
can, and you can have things removed as well.
Yep.
Now, when we talk about regulation, we should have a whole other about potential regulations that are needed. That should be one, kind of like how you can get stuff off your credit score. You should be able to go in and get stuff up off the AI generator, but I don't think that's a thing yet. But anyways, we
All right.
could totally have a show on options of things that we think would be great for regulation. Drop some drip in the comments if y'all are interested in me doing some research and making a video around that so we can engage and have a conversation. We'll be happy to do that. If not, that's cool too. Just throwing it out there. Just want to know what y'all think.
Yeah. It's just that technology has not caught up, or policy has not caught up with the level of technology. And so
Governance
that,
and
yeah, especially governance of um being in a capitalist society on this part of the world, we're gonna tend to
the
push the
EU's
envelope.
trying. The
They're
EU's
trying.
trying though.
Yeah.
Shout out to the EU.
But you always find that fine line between innovation and then stagnation through policies. But I understand, because there's not a lot that people actually understand about the ramifications of using this. So we're all in it together. We about to figure out if this is the Model T or the atom bomb. All right.
That's all I have for y'all tonight. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. Make sure you share this with 2 people you like and someone you don't. I am your solo drip host, Jim Jones. And hopefully next week we'll have Plain Dame in here to talk about some more political things. But tonight y'all got me with the talk techie to me. Happy you're here with me tonight. And make sure y'all have a great weekend. And I'll holler at y'all next Friday.
Jim and Dame got the glow, no. Odd squad in the building making waves that flow.
Not the baby pregnant lady. You
dive into the wildest dreams. Late night truth dripping through the streams. Late night drip, let it hit, let it slip. So slick, got you caught in the grip. Show some love, join the vibe. Don't trip. Yeah. Headlines flip while the clock ticks on. Gems got the tea, Dame's voice a song. This is where the lost and found.